LAFC may finally land their big star, but it's not Antoine Griezmann, who is someone they've been chasing for many years and looked likely to sign at one point from Atletico Madrid. There is a new player in contention to sign with LAFC, and I think that this would be a massive signing for Major League Soccer, a massive signing for LAFC, and I think that they would have a new fan base across the globe, more specifically in Asia, if they sign this guy, and that is one Son from Tottenham Hotspurs. So earlier today, Paul Tenorio of the New York Times or the Athletic said LAFC is pushing hard to sign Tottenham Hotspur star Son in the summer transfer window, according to multiple sources briefed on talks. No major progress as of yet, but LAFC are trying hard to get the South Korean superstar for 2025 and beyond. Now, if you've been a fan of Major League Soccer for a long time, you know that players normally never come here until after their deal is expired. Then they normally come over here on a free transfer, especially if they are a big name player. But Son still has 1 year left on his deal with Tottenham. His contract ends in 2026. So they are actually being more proactive, trying to get him to come over here now rather than wait and sign him on a free transfer after his deal expires. Hey, if you're enjoying the video, make sure you give it a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are 60 subscribers away from hitting 8,000, and our goal is to hit that number by the end of July. And with your help, I know we will reach that goal. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. Now, onto the video. And I believe that this would be an absolutely incredible signing for Major League Soccer, and I think he still has a lot to give. Now, Son obviously is a Tottenham legend. He has over 100 goals in league play in his, I think, 300 game appearances for Tottenham, and he's been there since 2015, if I'm not mistaken. It's crazy. It's already been a decade. And he's had some injury concerns. He hasn't been playing as consistently as he has in years past, but I still think he's a quality player, especially for Major League Soccer. I mean, I still think he's a quality player for the Premier League and for Tottenham. He's just not the star like he once was. He had 17 goals in 2023, 2024. He had 7 goals in 2024, 2025. I think he obviously has regressed a little bit, but he's still very, very good, and he will absolutely destroy. I honestly think this could be, if we're talking about marketability and quality, this could be a better signing for LAFC than Antoine Griezmann. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. Would you rather have Son or would you rather have Antoine Griezmann if you're LAFC? Which player do you think is better for the club? I think that it's Son just because of the Asian market that's closer to the West Coast. I think he's quality. He's still a very, very good player who can score a lot of goals for LAFC. Now, LAFC is an interesting club because, like I mentioned earlier, they have been chasing a big star player for a couple years now. Now, their club legend, Carlos Vela, officially retired this year. He really hasn't been as good as he had been in years, probably since 2022. He's really struggled. He's kind of lost that it factor because he just kind of declined rapidly, honestly. And they really haven't replaced that stardom since he left the club or since he hasn't been producing for the club in several years. And they've tried to swing at some big fishes. They've tried to get Antoine Griezmann. They even signed Olivier Giroud to come to LAFC to try to lure Antoine Griezmann, his countryman, his fellow countrymen, to get him to sign with LAFC. That wasn't enough. They had Hugo Lloris. That wasn't enough. But this is different. This is what they should have done in the first place. Instead of getting the guys around Son or Griezmann first to try to lure him over here, you got to get the guy first. Because if you sign those players and they are instrumental in getting the guy who doesn't want to play for your club, then you're in trouble. You're screwed. And that's what happened to LAFC. Olivier Giroud was useless without Antoine Griezmann, so that was a failure. And they ended up spending almost 9 to 10 million for a guy who did, and I'm talking about salary, for a guy who never lived up to the contract he was given as a designated player. This is different. This is different. And a lot of people have asked, is Tottenham going to want to get rid of Son? Are they going to want to sell him? I mean, his transfer market value, which is a good point of reference, like I always mention, is around, 20 million euros, right? What realistically would they have to get in order to let him go? Because he is a legend for the club. He's probably the most popular team on the club still. He's definitely the most popular player for Tottenham internationally. He's probably the most talented player all time in Asian football history. He's probably the most popular player all time in Asian football history. What would they realistically take to let him go? And will he actually come over here? Now, like I said, Tottenham have until 2026. They don't have to let him go. They don't have to sell him. I think realistically they could get him for a Rodrigo De Paul like signing, or they could pay probably 15 million and get him if he wants to come to LAFC. Now the question is, are LAFC going to be able to convince him to leave Tottenham one more year of the Premier League? Are they going to be able to convince him to come over to Major League Soccer at 33? I think Korea has a good chance of playing in the World Cup. Is he going to want to come over here a year before the World Cup? I don't know, but they got to try, and they are trying, and they're trying to be ambitious. And this is the signing that they need to make. Now, Tottenham obviously have a new coach, and I don't know if he's going to be in the plans of the new coach, but this is ambitious. This is what they need to do. This is what a team like LAFC, who have been kind of rudderless the last, I'd say, 18 months, this is the move that they really, really needed to make. And they need to spend the 15 million if that's what it comes to get him. And I'm not sure exactly what he's going to be paid, but I would be willing to bet you that the Son will probably be the second highest paid player in Major League Soccer, and probably the second highest paid player in Major League Soccer history. The only player that he will not make more money than is Lionel Messi. Son has no reason to come to Major League Soccer right now. He could play his contract out in Tottenham. He does not have to make the move right now. They would have to entice him with a very, very lucrative offer for him to leave Tottenham and the Premier League to come to Major League Soccer at 33 years old. And the good news is that while he's probably leaving his prime, he's still a very good player. He's still too good for Major League Soccer, and he will be a net positive for this league and for this team. And he will probably have the most popular jersey in the league, at least for the short time, because, like I said, in Asia, he is a hit. He is very, very popular. And I think that this is a move that could help LAFC really become a contender again, like a true MLS Cup contending team that can go blow for blow with Inter Miami. And this is more of the signings we need to see. We need to see MLS signing players at 31, 32, 33 max. We need to stop signing guys at 35, 36, 38 in Olivier Giroud's case. He was 38 years old when they signed him, 39 this year. And that's a problem. They need to get guys who have more tread on the tires and who can play several years after they sign their deal with MLS. Now, Messi's a rare exception because he's the best player of all time. He ages differently. At 36, he would probably be 30, compared to a normal great player, that'd probably be 30 to them. Him and Ronaldo, they just age differently, okay? That's what class does. But this at 32, 33 years old, Son, huge deal for Major League Soccer, huge deal for LAFC, and it transforms their team. He can play anywhere in the attack. He can play on the left side. He can play up front. He can play on the right side. He truly is versatile and can play anywhere and will help their team in whatever position he plays. And he's a good foundational piece for the next at least 2 to 3 years and turning them into an MLS powerhouse once again. Now, as far as this realistically, do I think it's going to happen this offseason? I would probably give it a 50-50 chance, right? I'd give a 50-50 chance because you got to convince him to come over here. You got to convince him to really push Tottenham to let him go and try to make the move to Major League Soccer to come over here right now. That is going to be the hurdle. That's going to be the hardest part to get over. I think that they can do it. There's talks, even Fabrizio had reported that he says LAFC approached Son over a potential transfer this summer as their new superstar. Talks at early stages, as Paul Tenori reports, as LAFC want to try, but Son and Spurs will have the final say. Thomas Frank will also speak to Son and discuss his future. I think that if they really want this to happen and they can give him a good offer, that he will be an LAFC player. Like I'm 50-50 right now, but things can change pretty quickly. I'm glad they're doing it now. Like I said, I'm glad they're not waiting around like other teams do historically, where they just get him on a free transfer whenever 6 months later, a year later. I'm glad they're being proactive and saying, hey, we're willing to pay $15 million to get a guy right now, even though he's got a year left on his deal. I'm willing to pay that. I want him now. I want to build my team to the best capabilities right now, not have to wait and see what happens. And I think he will be a game changer, and that's what they need. We need this. I compared the Rodrigo De Paul signing to like the modern day Saudi signing, where you're signing these guys in their prime, 30, 28, 29, 31, 32, bringing them over now where they still have something left to give. And that's exactly what this will be. And Son is a very desirable player that a lot of teams would want, in my opinion. And him and LAFC would be incredible. And I want to say this too. If he signs with LAFC, he would immediately be the third biggest signing in MLS history. He would pass Rodrigo de Paul at 3. It would be Beckham. It'd be Messi number 2. Actually, Messi number 1, Beckham number 2. And then those are interchangeable, though. It just depends on which one you want. What came first, the chicken or the egg, is what I would consider Messi and Beckham. Either way, Son would be number 3 because of his international profile, his quality, and just his age, right? I mean, like I said, he had 17 goals in 2023, 2024. He had 23 goals in 2021, 2022. This would be a great signing for any MLS team. Really great signing for LAFC. Still, I think the best player in Asian football. And having him in the World Cup year is only going to help your league. I think it's going to be incredible. I hope this happens. I think this will happen. I want to know what you guys think. How big of a deal would this be for Son to join LAFC? What would you rank this all time as far as signings for the league? Let me know down below. Also, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.